All right, we're live.
All right. Hello, everybody. Um, we're very excited to kick off this series. We've been forward to it for a good long while now. But yeah, I think we'll start with just introductions. My name is Aaron Wanjala. I am the Java developer advocate here at Google Cloud.
Oh,
And
my turn. Cool. Hi, I'm Mark. I am a developer advocate at Google Cloud as well. I primarily work on gating stuff, which is
oh
cool.
yeah, perfect. And my main focus is Java, but I have a bit of my most of my experience has been in web technologies. So lots of Angular apps, lots of HTML, CSS, TypeScript. And yeah, our intent with this series is to just show how you would approach using Duet in a live coding scenario, how you'd mix it into your workflow, and kind of how we think about using tools like Duet or tools like it as they develop, because it's just so new that everybody's kind of figuring out how they're going to fit into the workflow. So we're going to start, we're going to take this really from soup to nuts. We're going to do setup, and then we're going to go into what should be a pretty straightforward task. But we have intentionally not really um, gone through all of it so that we can get the feel of working through things together.
Yep.
Um,
I will be upfront. I have not touched Duet at all. I think really at all, actually. So I am here to ask all the potentially silly questions. We'll learn as we go. If you have any questions, please feel free to throw them in chat. If Aaron's working on something, I can go look it up, or vice versa. And yeah, each week we're going to be sort of alternating who's doing what with what. So Aaron's going to be leading today. I'll be leading sort of next week. We're doing it this weekly. I have to remember that. Yeah, I'm just going to keep on running from there. Oh, Aaron, you put your social media handle in there. That was smart.
oh yeah,
I should do that. Okay, cool.
all right. Yeah, without further ado, I think we're just going to get going.
Yeah,
So I'm going to share
let's go.
I'm going to share my screen here. And really, all we expect, if you plan to follow along at home, all you really need is a Google Cloud project with billing enabled, and then you can get started. There was a long time when Duet was in like preview where you needed to get onto like wait lists or whitelists. That's all gone. It's generally available, so you can just go ahead and enable it with any account that has billing enabled. So there are many different ways to use Duet. The first one we're going to go through is in this console view, having the Duet chat answer your questions. So you can click this Open Duet AI button in the top right, and it will put everything in front of you that you need to get started. It'll give you a bit of a primer and give you the nice enable button.
Sweet. I'm actually following along as well, alongside you, in my own project, so I can see what's going on. So, actually, there's an interesting question here, which is just like maybe a really silly one, which is like I'm looking at this, and when I first saw all the demos for like Duet, it's all in like an IDE. Like I'm seeing like all this code stuff, but there is this Cloud Console Duet stuff too, right?
Yes. Um, yeah, no, there are different, like, I've been calling them modalities of Duet, but different like places where Duet will show up. And there are different ways that I approach using them. So Duet in the console is what I like to use for, I think we call it information and reference use cases, where
Okay.
you are looking up, like, you're trying to figure out like how products work, like what is Firestore, or you're looking for something that is essentially in a doc, but you don't want to leave the window that you're working in. That's where I think it presents as a pretty good time saver. So, yeah, for what we're trying to do today, we are planning to, by the end of the session, um, have a cloud storage bucket set up in our project and be able to upload some files to it. And so I could ask it, like if I'm storing images, how can which yeah maybe which product should I use to
Ooh, good
store
one.
images?
What will it say?
So it replies with three options. So it says
Interesting.
cloud storage is an option. Cloud SQL and Bigtable are also options. And
I probably wouldn't put images in Cloud SQL and Bigtable. I'd probably lean towards cloud storage. But I mean,
yeah,
you could. You could. In theory, you could.
could. I don't know if I would be cramming it into blobs either, but it's possible. And yeah, you can we can expand on any of these, but I think we're gonna, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just keep going through the different like use cases of Duet rather than digging into like this response.
Yep.
So
Now, I noticed when we set this up, we
mm,
enabled Duet AI as an API surface
we
as a
did.
thing. Does that mean like it's enabled now in my project, so I can use it for other stuff as well?
It is that enabled the Cloud Companion API.
Okay.
So yeah, Cloud Companion AI, I believe API. So what that enabled us to do is to do things like go into the Cloud Shell editor and have Duet appear in that IDE as an equal
Ooh.
feature.
Okay.
So let's do that. Let me minimize this for now. So with Duet in the Cloud Shell editor here, it's much like other, um, like how what the experience would be like for other IDEs as well. You'll have a
Yep.
little, as long as you have the Cloud Code plugin enabled in your IDE, whether it's VS Code, IntelliJ, or CodeOSS like this, you will
Yep.
have a little badge that says Duet in the bottom right corner. You need to make sure that
Ah.
it's not, sometimes it's like a bronze or brown color. That means that it's installed and the version of Cloud Code you have has Duet enabled, but it isn't either, you're not signed in or it's not enabled for the plugin.
Gotcha.
So one way to
Um,
make sure. Yeah,
and I'll also say for those people who maybe not as familiar with like Google Cloud, um, Cloud Shell is basically a terminal that you can spin up and use within your Google Cloud project. It has basically like all the standard tools you have, like Terraform and G-Cloud and like Helm and kubectl and all that kind of good stuff. And then you can also, as part of that, and as the same file system as what you use in that shell, you can use this editor, which is, I'm not even sure what it's based on, actually. It looks
I
very familiar.
think it is CodeOSS, which is based on VS Code, I believe.
It's something like that. Yeah, don't take our word for it. But it gives you it gives you a basic editor. You can install plugins. You can do all kind of good stuff. And so if you're looking, I actually really like this if I'm doing like a quick start or I'm trying to just do something really simple, and I don't want to fill up, just bring up a full whatchamacallit, like my full local environment, or maybe I just want to try something experimental locally, and like if it fails, then it just kind of goes away, and it's not a big deal.
Right. Yeah, no, that is good to call out because it is, we're spinning up a little instance, little VM instance that has pretty much everything we need to get some basic tasks started. And so when I'm approaching like a new project, what I'll often do is get into the Cloud Console. That's a good time to start asking Duet like general idea stage questions. And then while I'm on the um, Cloud Shell here, I could do things like set up resources that I'll need, maybe a cloud storage bucket, something like that, to just like get my hands dirty and start being able to um, experiment with my
Yep.
project. And then so for the second part of setup here to get the IDE going, it does know that I'm signed in to um, Google Cloud, but if I go to my settings, I can also search Duet and make sure that it is enabled both for auto completion suggestions
Oh, I
and
see.
in general.
Oh, cool.
Um, and then the final thing that you want to do is make sure that you have the project selected.
Mm.
So you have both a Google Cloud Code project and a Duet AI project.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
the reason that these two are distinct is because you may want to have one project that you're working in, and then another project that you that just enables you to use Duet. Like you may want to, for your organization, have those separate, and so that
Mm.
offers you that flexibility to do, yeah, to have a central Duet project and then have other
Yep.
projects.
So like if you wanted to maybe like have a different billing account that was tied just to the Duet stuff versus like all the rest of your infrastructure or something like that, then you could do something like that to split it that way.
Absolutely. And as long as all that is true, as long as you have Duet enabled, you have Cloud Code installed, and you have a project that has Duet enabled configured, then
Sweet.
you're ready to go. You can
All
use
right.
Duet in two new modes. So one of them is the IDE chat. And so similar to the console chat, but it has a couple of added features. This chat actually knows some stuff about like your file system. It knows what folder you're in, um, and it's able to help you like create files and things like that. So it's a little bit closer to actually being in your IDE rather than just being informational as tasks. You could do,
Okay.
yeah. We'll get into this more as we.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is like, okay, so we've got the Duet AI stuff that's in the side of the console, which we can like ask general questions about Google Cloud. But within the Cloud Shell, like within the IDE, then we can start being like, okay, I can ask it questions maybe about the code that I'm running, or the things that I'm seeing, or do something for me. It has some context awareness.
Yes, more
Okay,
context awareness.
sweet.
Yeah. So why don't we, while we're here, why don't I ask? Since we, yeah, I'd like to actually get started on something. So why don't we ask Duet in the console chat here to help us create that storage bucket?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Well, I like
Yeah.
this. All right.
So how can I create a cloud storage bucket? And I'm keeping this prompt intentionally vague because I want to have a bit of a
See what happens.
yeah. I want to see what happens. I want to just treat it like a like a like a another developer that doesn't really know what the project is about, but does know a lot about Google Cloud, right? Like somebody you're bringing into
Okay,
the
that seems
project.
fair. I like it.
And so, yeah, it knows how to create a cloud storage bucket, but I was hoping to do it with the command line rather than
Can you just type?
consuming.
Can you just be like, give it to me in a command as a command?
Let's try it.
Does it know?
Give it to me as a command.
Let's see what
So
happens.
it gave me the steps to do it through the console, but I don't really want to do all those clicks. So
Yeah,
let's
because
see.
boring, right?
Okay. Oh, okay. So it gave me a gsutil command as a response, which I'm sure that would work. Gsutil, and it does explain. Actually, it doesn't really explain what MB is. Can it explain what MB is? What or can you?
Because I can't remember either.
No, I don't really. I'm not sure if you're an old school Google Cloud head, then you might know gsutil, but I'm not.
I'm
super
gonna assume
familiar.
it's for make bucket because that would make sense, right?
Yeah, but let's see what it says. Can you explain this in more detail?
It creates a cloud storage bucket named bucket name in the location. Okay.
Yeah.
Location for bucket.
Okay, the flags.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you are right. It's just make bucket, but I don't really use gsutil. Like I'm more familiar with gcloud, and so
Can you create a bucket with gcloud?
I think you can.
Let's find out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious, like when you would use gsutil versus gcloud. I wonder if Duet.
I don't. I actually don't think you can mess around with buckets with gcloud, but I could be entirely wrong.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
all right, hold on. I'll tell you what. You do the Duet AI. I will look at Google.
Sure.
And we'll see. We'll see who gets there.
I'm just asking, like, when would I use gsutil instead of gcloud? What's the difference? You know, just like more of an informational question.
I lied.
Yes.
I lied. You can do it with gcloud.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so it says that gsutil is a legacy utility, minimally maintained. Ouch. I mean, I'm sure it still has its uses.
Hi to the cloud storage team.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's
okay.
So gcloud storage is the preferred way to do it. Okay, well then, can you, like, how would I create that bucket, cloud storage bucket? Gcloud.
Yeah, nice one. All right, so I'm learning stuff. That's neat.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is what I expected as far as a CLI command, much more natural language. And so gcloud storage buckets create bucket name. Fantastic. I can copy it to the clipboard or have it just drop it right into the shell. And
fascinating. Okay. Learning stuff.
And if you want, you can do more, like you can have it tweak, like change the bucket name to this and change the region to that. I tend to just copy and paste or copy into the Cloud Shell and edit it myself. But
that makes sense.
You can absolutely have it do a lot of tweaking for you if you'd like.
I'm actually just learning stuff about this new command. I'm kind of very interested. Okay, by default location is US. All right, sweet. All right.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna call it Duet image bucket because I can't remember, but I think that cloud storage buckets are like very widely name shared, and so something like just image bucket.
Yeah, I've definitely done stuff where I prefix my buckets with like the project name if I'm automating it. I've done that a
Yeah.
bunch. But
So let
yeah,
me call it Duet
that's
live image bucket.
ooh,
Only
only
accepts
accept.
bucket
Oh, it should
URLs.
be gs colon forward slash forward
Oh,
slash.
yes, good catch.
Oh, but that wasn't. You know what? That wasn't in the command.
That's true. And
Uh,
yes, it's giving us a 409. The name is taken.
Actually, it's an interesting question since we're here anyway. Do you want to make it multi-region since we're here? Why not?
Oh, sure. I've never.
Make it a US bucket. Let's put it everywhere.
Sure. Okay, just like US Central 1.
Just US. Location
Just
US.
US. Interesting.
There it
I
goes.
didn't know you could do that.
Multi-region
Okay.
buckets.
Cool, cool, cool. So we have a bucket, allegedly, but how do I list my buckets? Um, and so this is like saving me time where I would normally be going out into the docs or Stack Overflow
Yeah.
and falling into a like hot network questions rabbit hole. I can just keep asking Duet, chat, and stay focused and stay here.
It is actually really funny because I'm sitting here and I'm like, my hands just want to go to Google and be like, how do I do this again? Like, where does the command? So it's very interesting. All right, so that's giving us the GS util again.
It did.
Let's. That's pretty good though. It's interesting. All right, here we
Yeah.
go.
Okay. So then I didn't have to say it again. I didn't have to say like how would I what was my original
Yeah.
prompt? Create it. List my storage buckets. It knows that I'm talking about the last thing I asked it about, so I can just
Oh,
say,
that's nice.
what if I want to do it with G Cloud?
Yeah.
And it gives me G Cloud
Gives you
storage
a few
buckets.
different options there to filter and like all that kind of stuff as well. I think there was one at the
Yeah,
top there.
true. Rather than typing it out.
I mean, if we're doing up and it copies it across, it always copies it. That is a nice touch.
Yeah. Okay, so there we go. We've got the storage URL. I think all
Beautiful.
this is like ACL and ownership stuff. We don't need that.
We're not going to care about for now.
No, but we have our bucket. Great. So now we've set up Duet on a new project.
Yep.
We've tried it out in 2 modalities. There are a couple more to see. But I think from this point, we're going to move out of the console because we've gathered some general information, created our resources to like play with, and now we're going to actually make an app and have it touch the resources we made.
I like it. Or does that mean we're going to go to a proper real RDE? Not that this isn't a real ID, but this
yep. That's the idea.
All right.
And
Kyle asks an interesting question. I'm actually going to throw this up here. Do you want to pop that back up? I'm gonna do something that I kind of want to do, which is here we go. I want to do this because I haven't done it on Legend. Can you set preferences, e.g., always use gcloud and not gsutil? I wonder actually if we could specify that in the prompt.
In the
prompt. Be like, hey, Duet, where possible, always use gcloud rather than gsutil as a command, maybe.
Yeah, let me see. I don't know if that. That's a good question. Definitely a good question.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm just kind of curious.
It's a
good question.
Do that.
So let's do that, and then okay, let's like, how do I delete a bucket?
Yeah, let's see how long.
Let's see if it does it.
How do I delete a bucket? Are you hearing like a static sound, Mark? Yeah, I can't hear you. I might just have to refresh here. I'll be right back. Hello? We're good now? Okay. I think something happened with my mic, but I'm hearing that we're good. I still can't hear anybody. That's a shame. Let me check my sound settings. Hmm.
Oh, I was muted.
Now I'm
That should
back.
be better.
All right.
I was I,
You were
I was
muted.
muted.
My mic exploded, maybe. Um, but I think we're good now after that minor interruption.
We got there.
That's
There we go.
that's
Yeah, I
how you
think
know
my
it's
micro
a real live
it's
stream
live.
now.
Yeah, my sometimes my microphone drops. It hasn't done that in a while. Okay, that's just me. So if I drop out, just ignore me. I'm fine. I'll come back. All right. So it doesn't look like what should
No.
we call it? It held that thing. That was a good question
Yeah.
though.
It was,
All right.
yeah, definitely worth trying. Seems like it dropped it. But good to know. Um, yeah,
All right.
I think back to the project here. How are
Yes,
we
we
gonna?
wanted to go over to an actual ID.
Yeah. So yeah, my ID of choice is definitely IntelliJ, and
Yay. I'm the same.
we're just gonna take it from the top here. I'm gonna use the Spring Initializer. Um,
I have my own other project that I'm going to be playing with probably next time, so I'm going to follow along because I have to do this anyway.
okay, fair enough. Yeah, and we're gonna. Sorry, one second. Make sure that path is right. I don't really want it in demos. Let me put it in. Let me put it in my repos folder. That's much better. Um, so yeah, no Git repository. We'll use Maven. Com examples fine. Artifacts fine. Tamarin 21. Java 21. Jar packaging perfect. We're gonna go. As far as dependencies, we don't really need anything fancy. I don't think we're gonna be making any data transfer objects, so we don't need Lombok. We'll use spread web,
Ooh,
and we'll
fancy.
include a little bit. And then we'll include this cloud storage library because I think we'll probably need that. I'll put the prompt guide. Interesting. I do want to give that a try, actually, Jennifer. Maybe let me have the
You want to go
prompt
back?
guidance.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look. That's what we're here for.
Um, that's big enough.
So, just using code functions, level of expertise.
Mm-hmm. Include details about the products and technologies. No, I don't think. Let me see.
Yeah, I think it might just be you have to be specific about it, at least for now.
Yeah, I think you can make it into the command. You can say, "How can I do this with gcloud?" But otherwise, it's going to stick to its defaults. But if we
Eh,
find something out between this stream and the next stream, I'd like to revisit that.
there you go. I wonder. I don't actually know for sure, but I'm also wondering whether it's like those sort of legacy problems where GSUtil has so many more examples everywhere because
Oh yeah,
it's the older one, and so it shows up more, whereas gcloud is the newer one, so it shows up less.
that would track.
And then that seems like something we should report internally and see how that goes.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are, clean project, and I think there's a problem with my Maven. So we're not going to be using the Maven tool window here. We're going to be just
It's fine.
using
It's fine.
yeah,
Hands wavy. Hand wavy. No one sees anything. It's fine.
yeah. We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
All
On the
right. So
command line.
how do we set up Duet inside IntelliJ?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was doing. So Duet, setting up Duet in the IDE for like outside of the Cloud Shell editor, it is still pretty similar because it's all hinging on the Cloud Code plugin. So let me go to the plugins, show that we have Cloud Code enabled. And yeah, for the last like 4 versions, as long as it's 23.8 and up, I believe,
Okay.
you'll have Cloud Code. And you want to make sure that that's enabled. And there are some settings that are important, but most of it can be handled from within this button here. As long as you have
Ah,
it'll take you to the right settings. It'll allow you to enable or specify the project that you want and make sure that it's enabled for the whole IDE.
got
Um,
it.
and you'll probably have to click apply. You might have to restart. We'll see. I guess not.
It's not a new. It's not a new plugin, so you're probably okay.
Yeah. Um, and I think that enables us to
Okay, so that
open
was.
up the chat.
Oh yeah, that was pretty straightforward actually. It did not.
Yeah.
It was not complicated.
Nope.
Um,
The plugin does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So, oh, there is also the option to configure the plugin, configure Duet with your settings.json file, like your kind of cross IDE settings.json. And that'd be great if you wanted to um, change some behavior. You know what? There might actually be like one feature that I know is relevant for settings.json is like changing the amount of cited code that you get. Um, like I know some people are very excited about citations in the responses because it allows you to know and be careful when you're using like license restricted code. So to do that, you would just go to, I think I have a settings.json example here, which is why I'm going back rather than sticking with the first one. But did we lose Mark?
I'm back now.
Welcome
My
back.
microphone's being weird.
Yeah, but honestly, we don't really need to get into this right now. I think I'll stick with what I was showing.
Yeah, we'll
you.
see it. Let's see it as we go.
We'll see it as we go.
Let's see it as we go.
So yes, we have Duet enabled here. We're going to start with opening up the chat. I have a bunch of sidebars we probably won't need here. The compute engine.
Oh, you don't have your sidebars as little icons. You have sidebars as big ones. Or you?
Yes.
Oh, you're not on the newer. You're not on the newer IntelliJ UI, or are you?
I'm not trying the new experimental UI.
Ah, I see. Okay.
So
okay.
cloud
I'm on
storage,
the.
I'll keep that window. But yes, we have Duet AI chat here. If your font size is huge, like mine is right now for the demo, you might have it like off the screen, but it will be on this sidebar. So look for it near the bottom. But yeah, you can open up the chat.
Okay.
And
Okay.
very similar to the one in the Cloud Shell Editor, just a chat right beside your IDE to let you
Yep.
ask questions. And so we have a basic Spring Boot app here. And
Ooh, that's an interesting task. So there is. I'll actually. This is something maybe we'll. I'm maybe throwing it in there. So just I'm gonna throw this on here. If we get to it, assuming we have time, maybe we'll try writing some unit tests and see whether or not see how that goes and whether it does how good a job it does.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Duet is pretty good for test generation, so that's definitely something that we could fit into the
see what happens.
yeah. So
oh my God. I have not looked at Java in so long. Okay, but no, I get what's going on here. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we're pretty straightforward. Just we have our Spring Boot app. At this point, it won't do much more than just launch.
Okay.
So why don't we ask Duet to help us with a controller? We want to like we could just open it up and start typing away. But yeah, why don't we have Duet do as much of it as we can?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Like create an image upload controller.
Do we need to create like a file or something, or I'm just asking if we need a dummy file somewhere.
Yeah, we will need to create the file.
Or like a text file or just something. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Image upload controller. So what is an image upload controller here? I'm guessing that's I'm seeing a lot of like upper and lowercase stuff, so I'm assuming we are definitely doing Java at this point.
Yeah,
that was a bad Java joke.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm trying to have it make me like a Spring Boot controller that is called image upload controller, so I can like minimize the amount of like tweaking I have to do after having it generate something for me. But yeah, that should be enough information for it to give me something close to what I want. And yes, you're right. So here there's a slight difference in the buttons here. We have copy to clipboard, but we don't have like the copy over to the IDE, like or copy over to Cloud Shell like we had in the console. So yeah, and that's probably for the best because I'd rather choose where my files are placed. So
That's fair enough.
I'm going to create a controller package. It's all different in terms of like how styled and where you want things to be. And we're also probably going to need a services folder.
It has been so long since I've written Java.
Yeah, it's a fun little world. So let's copy that controller. Let's take a look at it actually.
Oh
So
yeah.
it does as expected from the chat modality. It does know enough about like my file structure to be like the package is com example image bucket,
Oh, okay,
and save
okay,
me that
okay.
time.
Yeah.
These imports look right.
So actually, is an interesting thing then. Like the package that they've specified is different from what you're actually. It looks like where you actually end up wanting to put it. So we may want to actually make it ask it to update it or something.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Good catch. Can we add dot controllers to the package?
Ooh, that's very contextual. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it didn't do it. Well, no, it didn't. It didn't quite pick up that I was talking about this, but with the addition of
Oh, I
the
see.
controllers. Fair enough. But that is the line that I was looking for. So what if I
Not
copy
bad.
this? Yeah,
Not bad.
copy this, make my file image.
I'll possibly not important. I don't know. Again, I'm just noticing that your JDK is not defined. I don't know if you need to do that.
Oh yeah, I should probably do some project setup here.
Okay.
So yes, let me open up the with command semicolon. I'll make sure my project settings are set to 21 Temarin.
I don't even know what that means.
Temarin, that's actually a good question. That is very recently our suggested vendor for JDKs. So if you're working with Java, we suggest you use
Oh,
Temarin.
interesting.
And 21 is the latest LTS version.
Okay.
So yeah, we have that configured as our. We had the project set up, but we didn't have the SDK selected. So there we go. That's important. And there we go.
Hey.
Now it's not complaining, but we're still having that Maven issue. So
Oh,
I
okay.
will ignore
That's
that for
fine.
now.
So actually, is a good question. Then I haven't written this in a long time, but I've written other languages in IntelliJ. If something was wrong with this, would we get like a warning or a notification?
So at this stage, no,
Okay.
because it hasn't been compiled yet, or
Got it. Got
like
it. Got it.
all of this is valid. It would tell us if it was like not valid Java syntax.
Okay. Okay. So we can
Um,
see like okay. So at the very least, we definitely got valid Java out of this.
Yes, and actually, as somebody who writes a fair amount of Spring, I can tell you that this is like right from the method signature up. That will
All right.
that will accept a post request where somebody uploads a file and sends a post.
Nice.
So that's good. It's a helpful start. Um, I don't think it's the start that I would actually like for just checking that my controller works, though. I think I would like to have just like a hello world endpoint to be like, yes,
Okay.
the controller exists, before I start messing with the actual post part of it. So yeah, why don't I?
What was that?
So yeah, it's suggesting. Oh, it's suggesting an enhancement. As soon as I go down to the file, it's saying, well, do you want to have something that accepts an array of multi-part files instead of just one?
Interesting.
No, that's not what I want. That's like I appreciate the initiative, but no. What I'm looking for is something simpler.
Duet AI has Moxie, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So one thing you can do is like describe a function in a comment and then have it generate the function that you want. So
Okay.
just a just a I want like a basic like hello world endpoint. I'm describing it pretty casually. I'm not sure if it's going to understand from this.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
that's
and so there was a little. Actually, there's an interesting thing. So there's a little green thing on the left-hand side that you clicked there.
oh
That
yeah.
I think kind of buried the lead a little. So is that like a hey, do a thing, please?
You're right. Yes, that is the like interactive duet. Like generate some code based on the context. When I
Okay.
click
Okay.
that button, I'm asking Duet to guess what I want it to do,
Sweet.
and it does a pretty good job. That's pretty much exactly what I wanted. I wanted a sign of life, just to make sure that the controller is properly configured, that the path is right here.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? One thing that is missing, the request mapping is the correct annotation, but I also need REST controller to tell Spring that this bean is a controller.
Oh,
So
so I do note that when your original prompt, you were like, "Give me." I think you just said, "Give me a controller." I don't know if you were specific about like what it is meant to
you're
do.
right.
Is that should you have been more specific there, or I again?
Probably should have said REST controller because
Okay, interesting.
there are other implementations that wouldn't use that annotation.
Okay, okay.
Um, yeah, let me go ahead and add the import for that. Oh, it's suggesting the import as well.
Oh, that's nice.
Although in most cases where Maven is configured, and it would be more aggressive with like offering
Yep.
it as soon as I finish typing REST controller.
Actually, that is something that we were talking about off before, which is apparently Aaron's Maven integration is broken for some reason. So
Yes.
Duet's kind of doing a bit of the heavy lifting here and giving you the import statements and dependencies.
Yeah. It is filling in pretty nicely. It's giving it, I guess, more chances to suggest things. So I'm not mad about it.
Okay.
So yes, we have our basic Spring Boot app. We have a Hello World endpoint, and then we also have the upload, the start. We have a stub of an upload, a file upload function. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to change the paths a little bit because this is like a preference, but
Okay.
I feel like for an image upload controller, the path should be /upload. You might want to do like API v1, like versioning your API, but we're not really publishing this. So
This is not production grade at this point.
Let me relax a little bit for that. Hello is a fine endpoint for our test request mapping. I actually do want it to be a get mapping. I want to be explicit about it. I believe the request mapping will default to get, but let me be more explicit about it. So get mapping hello, string hello, hello world, great. So that should, if I navigate to /upload/hello, we should get that. I'm going to start the app.
All right, so that does Java magic.
Yeah, this is the
And something
Maven
happens.
command to start a Spring Boot app.
Oh no!
Oh no, it doesn't like it. Cannot find symbol. It doesn't like my import. No. The perils of guessing imports. Oh no, it's because I didn't do one for get mapping. That's valid.
Okay, so if you had your Maven integration, it would see that and like it would complain
Yes.
that like you do not have this thing.
Yeah, and also I should also say that when Duet is suggesting code, you can just hit tab to accept it.
Nice.
So it's pretty seamless. Those are the other two modalities here. So we've had like the
Sweet.
chat in console, we've had chat in IDE in two different IDEs, and then we have the comment, like you write a comment and have it generate something, and then you also have the suggestions as you type. Like when I go to a new part of the file, it suggests something. As I'm typing out an import, it suggests something. So you have a few different ways that Duet jumps in as a code assistant.
Yes.
And yes, time to compile and run.
Will it work? Will it work? Will it work? As an interesting thing while it's compiling,
Yep.
just more of a Spring question because I'm curious. So you've got the image bucket application, I think was what you started with.
Yep.
And then you've got the image upload controller. You don't need to do anything to connect those two things together. Spring just kind of magically mushes it through like annotations or something.
Yeah, through annotations. So Spring Boot application, by default, I believe one of the bundled annotations is like it's like package scan, and so it scans the current folder that it's in and everything under it.
Okay.
So as long as I put something under image bucket, it'll automatically know.
Nice.
Yeah, good question. So I am going to navigate to. It says I've started a Tomcat server on localhost 8080. So I open up Chrome and go to localhost 8080. And if I go to /images/ was it hello?
I have no idea.
White label error page means that it didn't find the path that I was looking for. So it is /upload/hello. That would have been right before I changed it.
Oh, I see. That was the top. Okay, so that was the top level path and then the second level. Okay, cool. Got it.
Yes. So there we go. Hello world. We know now that our app is working. The controller set up. And now we're ready to start uploading images, really.
Okay.
So yeah, now we're here, and I'm gonna. I think that's all the like Spring setup that we need to do. I'm gonna go back to having Duet drive as much as possible.
Got you. I actually had when we first talked about this, like using Duet to like create some code that uploaded a file to a Google Cloud Storage bucket. In my head, I was like, oh, the code's just going to look for a file locally, but and just upload that to a storage bucket. What you're doing is being able to basically say, hey, I could write like a curl command or something like that with the local image, send it to this endpoint. That endpoint is then going to chuck it up in the cloud storage bucket.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
That was my misconstruing of what was
No
happening.
worries. Yeah, actually, now that you mentioned that would have been more straightforward. But hey.
But this is more fun, so
Yeah,
it's good. It's good.
Okay.
It's good. We've got like 20 minutes or so. Actually, what time we finish? I can't even remember anymore. That's fine.
I don't know either, but I think we're doing good time.
We're having too much fun.
Yeah. Okay, so we have our endpoint. I'm fairly confident that'll work.
Yep.
Now I want Duet to help me. So the normal way that I would do this as a Java developer is I would have a image upload service that accepts like something like a byte array, or however you want to accept the file, and then just has a predefined function that sends it off to Google Cloud. And so I want Duet to make that for me. I need to get it done. This may be somewhere where I would normally look inside my organization to see if somebody's already written this so I can reuse it.
Boring.
Or look it up online, but why not have Duet do the work for me?
Yes.
So
way more fun.
Yeah, let me create or like write an image upload. Let me say write a Spring Boot service called image upload service that accepts, well, that just uploads an image to a Google Cloud storage bucket.
So is this different from what you had before, or are you just trying to create something altogether all new?
Yeah, so I have the controller, and that's like the that's like the place where my logic is to communicate with backend services.
Okay.
So that's like where I'll do my API design work, make sure that the endpoints are maintainable and clearly defined. But then all of the actual work will be done in like services that either do the work locally in the web server or call out other things like
okay.
database.
So like where you've done hello world and you've just said return hello world, usually the part which is the return hello world, you would put in a service and sort of get some abstraction layers going on.
That would. Oh, I think you might increase a little bit. Mark, I think we're getting a buzz from you. But there we go. But yeah, we don't really need this function anymore now that we know that it works. And I'm going to just inspect what Duet made for us here. Let me make this a little bigger. We don't need to be squinting at the response. We're here to see Duet after all. Okay, so here's the code for an image upload service that uploads to a cloud storage bucket. Yeah. So package.
How does it look? Oh, it's got the right package this time too.
Almost. It's missing an S, which honestly, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't think I should have pluralized these package names actually.
Oh, it's telling you are wrong.
I think Duet has the right convention here, so let me update that. But yeah, let me. So
I don't have any problem with the pluralization personally.
No, yeah, I think it's. I'm gonna correct that because it's gonna bug me. But yeah, auto-wired. We're gonna need to auto-wire for sure.
Okay.
Well, no, actually, because that's assuming that there is a repository for me to call back to. In this case, there isn't.
Okay.
So we don't need that, but it's not broken. It's not like wrong. Multi-part file, we're going to need that. No, it's assuming there's a model. So it seems to have taken the, or assumed that there's more of a, like this is a CRUD repository, a CRUD service. Which isn't what I was expecting. So let me look at the prompt here.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm. No, so it seems to have like focused more on the Spring Boot service part than the uploads and image to Google Cloud to the cloud storage bucket part. So let me try focusing the prompt on just like write me a service. Well, actually, I could also just get started on the service. I could take this because from service up, like it did give me the right annotation for a service,
Right.
but then I need to fill this in. Yeah, no, I'd like to get it to get more of it in one shot. So
I think you can do better. I believe in it.
yeah, right. Write me a service, or I don't know, create a service that uploads an image to cloud storage. Hmm.
So we end up with, so we go service.
No, this looks pretty similar. Okay,
So
well,
what's the, hold on. So we've got the, what's the actual issue? Is it that because it's creating this, an image?
well, no, it seems to be like reacting to the prompt as if like image is like
Oh, like a type.
like a type, like I have an
What if
image
we said
database.
file rather than image?
Maybe.
Or
Yeah.
an image file or something like that. Like we're specific.
Um, uh, yeah, write me a file upload service that saves to a cloud storage bucket. Nope, seems pretty similar. But that's okay. I think what I'll try is bringing in the parts of this that I like, and then having it complete the rest with me as I go.
As you go. That's fair
Yeah.
enough. I also noticed something which I actually thought was kind of cool now that I'm sort of staring at it, which
Yeah.
is at no point have you actually told it that you're writing Java.
No, I didn't.
It just gave you Java, which I thought was
Yeah,
kind of neat.
that is true. Yeah, so it's like we'll go ahead and take. Honestly, most of this is useful. Like most of the the boilerplate here is useful. Um, will we need? We won't need to auto wire anything. We do need the service. We will need we won't need a multiplier file. And we don't need those either. So then we'll go ahead and write what if I just say, create a function to upload a byte array to cloud storage.
Nice. All right, let's see if it'll do that.
Yeah. No, not quite what I was looking for. I should be able to cycle through suggestions though, which I
Oh,
believe
interesting.
the hotkey is. I can't remember what the hotkey is. But
Yes, that's the bit we want.
yeah,
Unless you can, yeah, I was gonna say, can you then
yeah,
hit
let
the
me
button again?
highlight this and generate again. No,
No.
no, that's not. These
So
are
then that is
different. These are different, like
just names.
types. Yeah, it's like accepting different types and plugging it in. Yeah. Well, okay. I could ask it to direct me to docs. Like
Google
how?
Cloud Storage Bucket?
Oh yeah, I could do that. About uploading to.
I wonder if it's going to give you Java code or if it's going to give you like a gcloud or a gsutil command.
Yeah, it may have been too generic here. Just said it can't help me with that.
Yeah.
Let me see. You're right. I should be a little bit more specific here.
Huh.
How can I image to
I feel like image is too generic a word.
Right.
Because image could be like a Docker image. It could be a photo. Like, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it does give me like uploading objects. So this would be a helpful docs page. I just want to see if it'll give me the like something like this. What if I try that same prompt without asking for the docs? Oh, that looks good.
How's that look?
Yeah, good.
Oh, that looks better.
Um,
It is reading a file from path, but at least
yeah, and no, actually, the part that I'm interested in is still abstracted away. Um, like, okay, an instance of can you expand on the image upload service class? How would I implement that? Hmm. Nope, not quite. Um,
huh.
yeah.
Let me see. There's
Hmm. There are definitely. Let me try suggesting a prompt here again. Um, so we have the image coming in here.
oh, so interesting. So I just tried a prompt just in my project that I was just playing with.
Yeah.
And I think I got something that looks kind of decent, which was which I just wrote in Java, how would I implement uploading a byte array to a Google Cloud Storage bucket?
Okay.
And it gave me what looks like decent code.
Let me try that. That's a lot of sources.
That looks like what I got. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that does look right. Yes. All right. Yeah. Good. Good prompt engineering.
There we go.
So it's kind of like
Took
a
some
different skill
finagling.
set. It's kind of like how like searching Google for the code snippet that you're looking for requires like, you know, like there's a little bit of a language to it to like find the exact article you're looking for. There's a
That's
similar
true.
there's a similar skill set to be learned with prompt engineering. So yeah, this looks really good. Let me put this in my clipboard and see how much it's going to use. It is writing it as plain Java, so it's like
Oh,
as if
interesting.
yeah. Okay, interesting. I'm gonna put it into a scratch buffer and edit the part of that I want to use down. Okay. Oops.
Okay.
So just so we can see um, the full output here, it did do the imports and it did the full like as if it was a command line function, which we don't need all of that. But we're going to take the parts that we do need, put that into our function here. And we're going to grab the imports as well. Blob ID, blob info, storage, and storage options. Those are important concepts for cloud storage. And for the sake of best practices, you wouldn't have all of your project. You might want to move some of this into config, but
Yeah, you wouldn't have that
it'll,
stuff.
it'll work great for now.
Oh, good point. You know,
Um,
ideally you'd go and you'd like pull it out of your metadata or something if you can.
yeah.
But you know what?
As far as the region, I guess it'll just be US.
I guess, yeah.
Interesting.
Well, we
Um,
know, yeah, we know what the bucket name is because we specified it, so we can cheat that.
Yeah, so the bucket name, we'll go ahead and put.
I forgot. I've totally forgotten at this point
Yeah.
what it was.
What was the bucket name? Right after we say that we know what the bucket name is, we do. Who's in the terminal? Here it is. Great. Project ID is different. It is cooking with Duet 1. There's a dash there. Yeah. And for the object name, the file, we're just going to go with, well, I guess the object is the actual file upload. So we'll need to make that unique or unique enough. We'll call that, well, actually, I think we can grab that from the, we can have that pass in because that's part of the multi-part file request.
Okay.
Name. And yeah, the rest of that's usable. There we go.
Nice.
Object bucket name. Good. That makes sense. So we're going to configure storage with our project settings, make a blob, give it the metadata we need, and upload it. Perfect. So then back in our controller, we're going to auto wire that. Well, yeah. Let's see if it's so. One thing that Duet, like you can absolutely have it generate code for you here, but you have to specify. Like I want to see if I can get Duet to specify like how would I auto wire this, or like how would I bring this in? I auto wire. How would I use the? I think I should say auto wire. How would I auto wire my image upload service into this file? Yeah, that is essentially the line I was looking for here. So images, and that is the line that I'm going to be adding in next. So it says the full response was, yep, use the auto wired annotation, correct. It understands
this is the magic Spring stuff that puts it all together.
Yeah, and it has an understanding of what this is doing in Spring. It automatically creates the instance
nice.
and does the importing and gives me all of the all of the dependency management and things that I need for that.
Nice.
So there we go. We have the image upload service, and we're going to use it. Is the function actually called upload image? It is. Image upload service, upload image. Yep, great. So we auto wire the service we just created with Duet, and then we're uploading the image, but we don't want to upload the whole image. We don't want to upload because upload image calls for a byte array and the file name we want to use. So rather than passing in the whole multi-part image, we'll go image.getBytes, I believe is the, well, why don't we ask Duet, right? Because this is something that
that's why we're here, right?
Yeah. So how can I get the byte? How can I get a byte array from a multi-part file? Okay, yeah, it is get bytes. Fantastic.
You're right.
And then
I assume you also want to get the file name as well.
Yeah, how do I get the file name? I don't remember what the command is for this. So how can I? Okay, it's just called original file name. Okay, so just get original file name, and that's why I like Java. All of the names are long but sensible. So.
Sure. And again, if your Maven stuff was working, then this wouldn't be an issue, and you would just have autocomplete.
I would just have it. I would be control clicking and having to do all that. But honestly, happy
not
accident.
bad, not bad at all.
Good. So Yeah, this will probably work. Let me go ahead and kill it, restart it, see how close we are. Um, we might have missed an import, but we'll see. It'll tell us.
Let's find out. Now I'm very curious.
Have we been going for an hour already?
We have. We actually have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so 31, 39, 1. It's just an extra bracket. That's a factor of copying and pasting.
Okay. Not bad. We can find that.
Okay, let's
Ba-bam.
cannot find symbols. So imports. Image upload service, that's fair. I'll need to import that. Well, public cloud service. Oh, Mark, I'm hearing buzzing from your mic here. Service, yes. Yes. What about this one? Blob info builder. Do we not have blob info here? We do have blob info.
You're setting up imports, it looks like.
Yep, got a couple imports to set up here. One of them, it doesn't like the com cloud. It doesn't like the blob info import.
Is it not a valid import?
I wonder.
Did Duet lie to us? Oh no.
I guess I'll have to verify that. Or I had the page open here. So from the docs here, com Google Cloud storage blob info. I believe that's what we had. Com Google Cloud storage blob info. Yeah.
That looks right.
That looks right. Yep, storage option, storage. So those imports are right. Oh, do we have the dependency? So we have, I believe we have.
I have no idea.
Storage starter, yep.
Okay.
Maybe I just need to do an install. Because when you have a configuration set up by Maven normally, it would bake that in because I am manually running the goals. It may not have done that.
I have no idea, but I believe you.
Yeah.
I 100% believe you.
Find some data.
Variable data, it seems to be does what it is complaining about.
Oh,
in
yes.
the file. So we can probably get rid of that pretty straightforwardly.
Data.
Because you've got the system at println at the end, and I don't know if you actually have.
We don't have anything called data, so
We
that's.
don't have anything called data, so that's an easy fix.
And we don't need to put the comments because before it was a hello world.
Yep. All right, so that's at least something.
Yeah. Oops. Nope, I need that. Okay.
All right, we got rid of some errors. We got rid of some errors. Set location. So it's complaining more about depending on which one you want to go through.
Yeah, let me go from the bottom up. Set location, is that not valid? Do we need to do that? Or can it just discover it from the...
Strangely enough, this code looks very similar like our code.
Is set location part of this? I don't think I see location.
I think I have a strong feeling that the location will probably default to US.
We may not need it because it's not in there. It's not in the doc sampling. So yeah, let me just try dropping that.
Yeah. I believe in you.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, so we'll go with that. And then we'll just fix the package import.
Cell
And
location would make sense, though. It's very interesting.
it
I
kind
see a
of
red line
does.
somewhere.
Oh, your mic head is buzzed again. You see a red line somewhere?
All right, let's see if this works now.
Yeah. Good. So we're down to just the import of the. Oh, it doesn't like auto wired.
Do you need to import something called auto wired somewhere?
Yeah. So this it just doesn't have the annotation auto wired.
There we go.
Class image upload service. We do have that.
Do you need to import that as well?
I wouldn't have. Well, I guess we're not in the same exact package, so maybe that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
Controller. So that's auto wired. Can I find something?
Why does it dislike you now?
Let's see. So the image upload controller. 115 doesn't recognize auto wired. It is here. I believe that's the right package.
Otherwise, it would probably complain that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Although it does say cannot find symbol in bind.annotation class auto wired. So is it?
It may not be. Let me just look that up.
We have been looking at Spring documentation. I don't know whether to be happy or sad. Yeah, it doesn't want to show it to me. Oh, come on. We could ask Duet, how do you import AutoWired?
We could, yeah.
Although I think it gave it to us in the first place.
It did. It did. And this is something that I would not typically spring for Beans Factory. I don't know about that, but we'll see. Factory annotation auto wired. Maybe it is.
Oh, this is taking me back. Okay, so okay, this is like, oh my god, deep cut Java stuff. Okay, so way back in the day, Spring was a dependency injection framework, which I assume it still is.
Mm-hmm.
But now Spring has like all these other things.
It does.
It does. Ooh, that looked like it worked.
Yeah, no, that was the correct.
Hey, go Duet. Okay, cool.
Okay, so it just doesn't know where image upload service is now. Great. And now I could just do component scan here, but I thought we had it by default. Well, anyways, an easier way that I can address this is just to relocate the service to the same package. Since I want to work with Duet more, I don't want to keep debugging file system stuff.
Okay. You'll probably need to change the package, I'm guessing. Or unless it did it automatically.
I think the move should do that. Oh, no, it didn't.
It didn't. Ooh. No.
Yes, so it worked. Unreported exception, IO exception. Great. That's fair. I can have this throw an IO exception. And then we'll try it. And we'll catch IO exception. Is your mic buzzing again? There we go.
Does that look better? That looks better.
Yeah. Formatting's a little off. I could probably expand the window I'm writing code in, so I'm not just. Okay, 45. Yes. Okay, cannot find simple IO exception. Yep, that's fair. What's the import for IO exception? Java IO exception. Yeah.
My microphone. Yeah, I have theories. I need to sit down with this. I think.
Get message.
I think I've got too many things plugged into a USB hub. Is basically what's going on.
Does it get stack trace the function? Section. Yeah, well, let me ask Duet. What's the function to get the stack trace?
That makes sense.
I think it is just get stack trace. Yeah, it is just get stack trace.
There you go.
Oh, it just wants me to concatenate. All right,
there we go. Hey,
so
nice.
We have our controller running, and because we already tested the hello world endpoint, we know that as long as we hit the right post mapping, as long as we have a post mapping and slash upload, it will hit this code and it will upload, it'll attempt the upload. So let me get that going. We could do it with a curl, but I find it's easier to do something with something like a Postman, like an API client. So we'll just do that.
You have this thing. I haven't seen this before, so I'm actually kind of curious.
Yeah,
Just
Postman is
how
like
different people do stuff.
Yeah, I believe it's pretty commonly used. Maybe folks in the chat can let us know if they've used Postman before. But yeah, localhost 380 upload. Is that it? Upload / upload. That's it. / upload.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. And then we'll need to include the body, so we want form data, because we want a multi-part file. So this would be a form where you could upload multiple things. This is more branching more into like the web side of things. But yeah, imagining a user is on the other side of this, they would want to upload a file. We can just call it image.png, and then we should be able to select the file. This brings me to the point where I probably should have selected an image for this before we started.
You don't have an image handy, do you?
I don't.
That's very funny.
Yeah, and I don't know what I'm going to find in my download. So let me just take a second here.
You can drop if you want to drop your screen sharing real quick.
There's a picture of my cats. That's convenient.
Oh, there we go. That's pretty good. Ooh, that was dangerous for a second.
It was, but Yeah, we're good. There we go.
All right.
400 bad request.
Bum
Okay,
bum.
good to know. Required part image is not present. Oh, I didn't call it image. There we go.
Ah, you had a malformed request. Okay, got it.
Yes. So the key is just image. And there we go. So if you're writing this as a form, that would be like the name you give to the upload element. But now we got a 500. Okay. What do we got? Invalid bucket name. I like it. So we're hitting gcloud. We're hitting cloud storage. We
Yep.
definitely got the client number and all that. But it doesn't like the bucket name. That's very
Does
addressable.
the bucket? Ooh, I wonder. Okay, so I have two thoughts. One, did we type it right? And two, does it need the GS thing, or maybe the slash at the end is maybe wrong? I'm not
I
sure.
think the trailing slash is the issue. If I'm guessing.
All right,
Um,
I can try that pretty quick. All right.
All right. Another 500. What do we got? Invalid bucket name. Okay.
Did
yeah.
we type that right?
I copied it from the other chat, but it's worth checking. So here we are in the console where we listed originally. Duet live stream image bucket. And I wonder if we have to configure access. But yeah, GS live stream image bucket. That is the same bucket name. Maybe we don't need the GS slash slash.
All right, let's give that a shot.
And I'm expecting after this to get a 403 because we'll probably need to configure access for the app. We'll just go with the straightforward application default credentials. Shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, I see. One of our teammates actually just messaged me offline. Just say that get rid of the GS line.
200. Yep, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah, file cat.png uploaded to bucket duet live stream image bucket.
All right. Should we go look in the console and see if the file's in there?
We could do that, or we could ask Duet to take us there.
All right, go on then. Let's
Sure.
see what it does. Make Duet do everything.
Yeah, it's like the new junior developer, you know. Why not have it do all the work? So yes, how can I list the files in a storage bucket? No, I meant in the console. How could I?
Oh, there we go. Yep.
With the gcloud CLI. Interesting. What? Gcloud storage CP. No, that's not what I had in mind. Yeah, what I'm after is like, I don't even know if this is actually possible with the gcloud CLI.
Well, you could pull it back down so that you could see that it was your file, but I
could.
think
Honestly, we're getting into like the idea of W getting it and then having it. Let me just. Can you give me the steps? Like, how would I view files in my storage bucket on the console? LS. Interesting. No, there it is. There is a command for it.
Oh, there you go.
They gave me both the console steps and the command for it. Interesting.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, I like
Nice.
that. Let me copy that. And I don't think I'm signed into the gcloud CLI on my IDE, so let me just use it here. Gcloud storage ls and I will supply bucket name. We have cap.jpg. And if we go to the bucket, I'll just search for it.
I do love the top level search.
Yeah, I use that.
Usually I try and just keyboard, like you can press down and then just hit enter and it'll take you where you want to go.
Now
you might want to go to Cloud Shell so we can
close
see
some of these
there
windows. Yeah. There's our bucket.
Have bucket.
There's our image. And
you click the URL, it should pop up, right? Oh, it's just going to download. Oh, okay.
And there are my cats. It opened it up in a different window, but
boop,
we've done it. So yeah, what do you think, Mark? This was your first experience using Duet in like a live coding scenario, but like, what was the experience like for you?
This was my first experience with Duet full stop. So that was very interesting. It was for whatever reason, the thing that kind of stood out for me was the fact that in the IDE it had some context about like what language you were using, and like where you were without kind of even thinking about it, which was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. You're just like, oh, I'm just gonna give you Java because you're writing Java, and I can tell you're kind of doing some Spring stuff, so like I'm gonna give you some Spring answers. It did seem like the one challenge it definitely had when we wanted to be like, all right, no, seriously, give us the code to upload the thing. We had to really push that a little bit. But that's not impossible, but keeping that all in the IDE, that was kind of cool. How did it go for you?
It was pretty good. I felt like there's something to that, like not having to have two windows open or switch back and forth to Stack Overflow.
Yeah.
And it does kind of still feel familiar. It's kind of like working with pairing with a new developer, or just like, taking in having a friend, or like taking in Stack Overflow code that is in like a sensitive area and you need to like review it. Like it's the same. It's a familiar experience. Like I am just getting a sample online, making sure it fits for me, clicking it in. So it doesn't feel as alien as or as like new of a muscle as it may seem from the outside. And that's how I've been describing it. Like when people ask me what it's like to use a Copilot, it is kind of like having a pair programming scenario, but alone. So it can be helpful when you just want to describe the next function, and then it kind of gets you started, gets you rolling. I would do it again. I think I would mix this in, especially when trying to use things like the G-Cloud CLI. Response is super solid.
And that was also pretty cool where you're just like, I just need, what's the class or the import path? Like, what is that thing again?
Yeah, that one's unusual, but like, being able to ask like context information, like, what is the correct import here, or what is the difference between GS, util, and G-Cloud,
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if there's like that very common thing, which is like, I need a package that does this thing. What would you recommend? I'd be curious to see what it ends up showing for that kind of stuff.
Right.
That'd be quite curious about how that would go. I feel like I might still end up with having like an IDE and a browser next to it, just so that I can click on either the sources or like more information if I want to kind of dig down a little deeper. But having that there without having to like go off somewhere else to go Google.
Oh, your mic.
And by our next recording, I will have my mic issue sorted.
Yeah. Fair. And I guess one more thing that we didn't actually have time to point out, or end up pointing out, but there's like the optimization kind of use cases where you can just show Duet something and say like, how would you improve this?
Oh, interesting.
Like point at a whole file or point at a function and say, how could I make this like, how can I improve this function?
That's right. It can explain stuff too. Like if we asked it to explain that file.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It might give us something interesting there. What's it gonna say?
Image upload service. Yep. Uploads images to Google Cloud Storage. Has one method. Correct name.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's quite detailed. And if I was to have it like explain like what is storage options like, because that's like a library package that I'm not actually very familiar with as a
Yep.
developer in this repo. Um, so I think I can just highlight it and say explain this. Oops.
Nope, that's not
Right
right.
click. I can right click and then go explain this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then it says this is it explains it, yeah, from the package level down, which is handy. Oh, that would have
Gives
been a
you.
great way to get
And then you get over your methods and stuff too.
yeah, to get all my getters and setters rather than having to guess and check. You could just have it right click and explain. Interesting.
Very interesting. That makes sense.
Yeah. And how are we for time? We're actually coming right up to the scheduled time, I believe.
I think that is right. I have to
Do we
look at
want
our
to
calendar.
take some time for questions?
We can try our very best. Yeah, we can. Yeah, people have any questions they want to, or comments, or thoughts, or feelings, they want to drop in chat. We can probably hang around for like.
Ooh, yeah, you're right. No, but yes, we can absolutely hang around and chat for a little bit. There were some good questions here, and yeah, I hope that I hope that this level of like involvement with an AI code companion seems reasonable, because it seems like most people, like even Google, we're at the stage where we're making them available to developers and letting them see where it fits in to their workflow. So if you sign on at this point, yeah, you're an early adopter, but you're kind of like learning at the same level as we are at the same time. So I find that exciting. Hope you do too.
Yeah, I learned some stuff, which was kind of fun too. Also, I got to look at some Java code, which I haven't done in a really long time, which is also kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next week, I need to work out what I'm working on. So it will. Actually, I'm not sure. It could be one. It may end up being a couple of things given the time. We'll see how we go. So it might be some Terraform. In fact, it probably might be some Terraform. We might do some Go code. We might do some Rust code. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't decided.
That all sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see some Terraform, Rust. All that would be cool. And also excited to hear from the audience. You know, if there's something that you want to see more of, less of. This is a series. We have more swings at the bat, so please let us know, um, and we'll cover what you want to see.
Fantastic. I think is that about it?
I think so.
I think so.
All right.
All right. Fantastic. Well, I'll say goodbye
Yeah. Let's
and
sign off.
hopefully see you all next week.
All right. Thanks for joining.